Hello, I am Jana Horáková, Associate Professor of Digital Art at Masaryk University, Czech Republic. I regret not being able to join you in person, but I am grateful for the opportunity to share my presentation with you via video. My big thanks goes to Tomáš Marušiak for organizing the conference and for making my distant participation possible. This paper presents findings from my exploration of effective research methods for studying the history of digital art conducted within the Czech Science Foundation supported project Local Digital Art and Culture as a Subject of Historiographic Research. The project aims to establish a methodology and initiate foundational research on local digital art in the broader context of digital culture. The research began with a central question: how can we write the history of digital art today? This leads us to further inquiries. Which historical methods have been applied to digital art so far? What are their advantages and limitations? Which approaches and research designs should be refined or newly developed? Let's begin with an overview of English language monographs on digital art history. This is not an exhaustive list, but it offers a useful snapshot of current state of digital art historiography. It shows that the field often relies on traditional art historical methods such as periodization, canon formation, and the publication of primary sources. At the same time, authors employ varied approaches. For example, Jack Burnham introduced a mythification perspective. Michael Rush and Stephen Wilson emphasize intermedia framing. A documentary approach focusing on sources and documents is seen in the work of Ardwick Fruin and Montfort and partially Shanken too. Meanwhile, Christian Paul, Mark Triebe and Rena Jana and Wolf Lieser represent a traditional narrative style offering structured overviews and surveys. Based on reprints, updates and circulation, Digital Art by Christian Paul stands out as the canonical historiographical work in the field. But in recent years, digital art historiography has seen a notable rise in online databases, like monographs. These databases can be grouped by their goals and methods of content collection and dissemination. They are databases operated by memory institutions and universities. For example, Dada Digital Art Database, ZKM Archive, Lima Archive, or Airport. They are databases created by institutions to document their own activities. Ars Electronica Archive, Transmediale Archive, V2 Institute for Unstable Media Archive. And finally, they are community-based databases built through collective efforts of communities. RunMe.org, ADA, Archive of Digital Art, Variable Media Questionnaire. Compared to monographs, online databases contain many more works than books. This difference stems from the nature of each format. Printed books are limited by structure, cost, and space, especially for color images requiring selective curation. In contrast, digital databases are designed to grow over time, with virtually no limits on volume. They support both textual and visual or audiovisual content and benefit from digital features like nonlinear organization and flexible access. Given these qualities, databases are an ideal format for collecting, organizing, and sharing foundational research in digital art historiography. This insight calls for broader reflection on research methodologies suited to database environments. Publishing research in database format is not just practical, it reflects a shift from books and visual culture to program media culture. As Lev Manovich notes, let me quote, just as linear perspective was a symbolic form of the modern age, according to Panofsky, the database may be seen as the symbolic form of the computer age. End of quote. The internet itself is often described as a vast database or digital archive, and even individual digital objects can be understood structurally as databases comprising data and software. While databases may lack the flexibility of physical archives, their key advantage lies in the use of database management systems, which enable users and applications to capture, manage, and analyze data efficiently. The shift from physical archives to digital databases has transformed research methodologies in art history and the humanities, contributing to the rise of digital humanities or digital art humanities. The database format supports advanced computer-assisted methods such as data visualization, network analysis, mapping, and spatial analysis using GIS. Such tools enable dynamic interaction with content and add significant informational values such as uncover hidden patterns, quantify phenomena, identify structural and thematic similarities and differences, generate timelines automatically, or map events and artworks. Although digital art databases remain underused in digital art historical research, some examples already demonstrate their methodological potential. The ADA Archive of Digital Art demonstrates this through its Tools section, which includes 4 subsections: Visualization, Thesaurus, Serendipity, and Mnemosine. Section Thesaurus is a structured keyword system with more than 600 terms across 4 groups: aesthetics, genres, subjects, and technology. Users can browse terms hierarchically, alphabetically, or as a visual graph. Section Visualizations offers statistical insights into the archive, such as gender ratios, metadata patterns, and these tools help reveal trends and distributions within the database. Another example is the Bazooka Live Archive, which features an intelligent interactive interface for exploring Woody and Steina Vašulka's video art database. It uses AI-driven tools to identify recurring visual and audio motifs across the archive. For example, natural elements, fire, water, air, earth, violin, camera, machine vision, etc. The concept of animated or living archive is at the heart of research and development in digital art humanities. It refers not only to different visualization tools, but it encourages experimenting with different interactive features, dynamic visualizations, and flexible interfaces to enhance access and engagement with the database. For example, in the Vašulka Live Archive project, playful and interactive interfaces were developed, including immersive virtual reality experience of digital archive or a video remix of the Vašulka works using AI software projected on the facade of the Brno House of Arts, where the archive is housed. These examples illustrate how database can become dynamic environments for exploring, animating, or remixing digital art history. As digital humanities evolves beyond its early phase of positivism, it's increasingly shaped by critical digital humanities, focusing on the cultural, political, and ethical dimensions of digital technologies. For example, algorithmic bias, power structures within the archive, or ethics of data use in digital art creations. I suggest that the critical debate on digital humanities methodologies be enriched by AI art strategies, an essential part of which is working with databases or datasets. For example, inspiration for new AI-driven research methods can be taken from Vlada Nuller's diagrams of new extractivism, which exemplify analytical and inductive approaches to the database. A similar method was used by Tomáš Jaburek in the group exhibition AI All Idiots, where they extracted and visualized data from the Czech contemporary art database artlist.cz. AI can support speculative curatorial strategies too, as seen in the Black Box project. Here, unsupervised AI software sorted artworks created during COVID lockdown, acting as an alien curator deciphering remnants of human civilization. Another example is Claudia Larcher's work AI and the Art of Historical Reinterpretation, Filling Gender Bias Gaps. Her project critiques gender bias in historical datasets and uses AI-generated images to build a fictional archive that reinterprets history with inclusivity and diversity. Another method can be found in Refik Anadol's projects, for example, unsupervised machine hallucinations. His works transform databases into immersive, brutalist avalanches of digital matter, revitalizing the database content through synthesis in endless, self-regenerating remixes. Similarly, in the exhibition AI or Idiots, Tomáš Jaburek used data from artlist.cz and encouraged users to generate synthetic images via a mobile app that remixes visuals from the database. Refik Anadol stated, let me quote, I guess the process is that researchers, either in industry or in academia, will develop new techniques, new code, will post them as open source onto GitHub, and then artists appropriate that and then move in different directions with it. End of quote. However, this process can work in reverse. Artists may influence how researchers think about the methods of dataset-based research too. As demonstrated, AI art employs critical, speculative, and subversive strategies to engage with datasets, challenge conventional archival practices, and thereby contribute to the evolving methodologies of digital art historiography. The convergence of digital humanities and AI-generated art methods opens new possibilities for a critical, speculative, and data-driven historiography of digital art. It invites scholars to actively engage with these tools and reconsider the methodologies of art history in the age of the database. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me via email horakova@phil.muni.cz. And have a nice rest of the day. Bye!